Sometimes the world will change. Ah, iCarly. That was such a great show. I wonder what happened to those kids. Anyway, how's it going, guys? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Tetherball podcast video with some of the team, Kwaning Seng and Jenny Q Ta. How are you guys?
Cool.
Good.
I think the word cool is good.
So be advised that there's like a 1 to 2 second delay. So we're just gonna, for the audience, we're just gonna have that's happening. But outside of that, there is a couple of things that I wanted to talk to y'all about. Obviously, this is a meme coin project where we have some of the greatest minds, I think, that right now have been really undiscovered. Jenny has just discovered them. But for memes in general, they started back in the day on blog posts. They started like Unfortunate Brian and cats going in the holes of bread. And they've kind of taken on a life of their own where they are a part of our culture. They're part of everyone's culture. Each culture has different ones. And you get a lot of weirdos. A lot of them good, but some are very weird. How do you go and decide if anyone wants to join not the Telegram, the WhatsApp? How do you go in and decide, hey, this person's a good kind of weird, and this person's a weird we might not want to be in the project?
Sure.
You know,
Okay, Jenny, go
I'll let
first.
Quan. Oh no! Well, see how they always do that to me.
No, I can do
But you know what?
it.
Okay, Kwaning, go ahead, and like I've always share, I will always gonna back up you guys. So I'll share after you. But hi everybody,
Yeah.
happy Saturday. Hi Randy, wherever you're at. We love you, Randy.
Oh, I love you guys too.
Great question, by the way. Excellent question. By the way, just want to
Yeah.
let you guys out there know that all of Randy's questions are not prepared in advance. I mean, we don't. And whatever comes out of his mind, we will just answer things as is. And we just don't, we don't have any preparations advance. But thank you, Randy. Quanning is all yours. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Like, see, that is how coach do it, like you go first and then afterwards there were some lessons coming in. But okay, let me tell you this. So how do you choose good weirdo and weird weirdo or like bad weirdo? Of course, like right now, you as you know, in our WhatsApp group, and you already see a lot of ambassador in there, right? A lot of them are like lead ambassadors, basically. So I think somehow this time when I see it, we work as a team, right? So ambassadors, they also help us to onboard more community members. And of course, over the period of time, we will see the engagement of the ambassadors as well. Hi, Omar. Yeah, so we will also see the engagement of each ambassador as well, and then we are monitor in the background, and then like we always like chat with each other to see, hey, if some content is okay or not, and then we support each other basically. And then over probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then if the performance or like the expectation is not a match from the both side, then maybe it's not the right fit, right? So sometimes it's like how should I say this? You cannot fit into everything. You only need to fit in some certain things. Maybe Terrible is not theirs, or we are not theirs, or they are not ours, right? So, but I can confidently say right now the community is pretty strong in the WhatsApp group. It's pretty like everybody's GMing and then like yeah, a lot of things going on. Yeah. Jenny, in case I missed anything.
Well, it was good. Quanning share the good side of things, but Tetherball is has made a promise, made a vow to be transparent, good or bad. What I'm sharing is not really bad, but I think it happens with any and all startups or projects out there. I believe one of the biggest reasons for startups to fail or projects to fail is when partners don't agree, and that they lack the communications among them, and basically it breaks up. you know Unfortunately, in my career, I had mentor a lot of different projects, and I will share one example because the two co-founders came from Princeton. This is a true story. Uh, Two gentlemen, similar to the Facebook era, they they co-founded a really cool app, right? This was at least 10 years ago, so I think it's safe to say now. I believe one of them, I don't know, I don't think they're listening to me, but maybe they do. But I believe one of the two may have became a priest. I don't know, cannot confirm. But the last time I spoke to him, he moved to a different state and was very religious. So I kind of put two and two together. But sometimes two and two may not equal to four. So don't take me on that. So back to 10 years ago, it was right out here in Santa Monica. I was uh mentoring like a dozen startups at a time. So the two co-founders, I've only met one, which is the CEO, obviously. The other one I've heard but never met in person. Probably stay back at Princeton, or I'm not sure. But they did raise a round, and they were trying to raise another round. It was a really good app, and it was on the second round that I came on board as an advisor, a mentor. So what happened was the two fought. I mean, not physically fighting, but the two original co-founders, one was the CEO and one was not. I forgot if he was the CTO or something like that. Um, and so it got to a point that they could not work together anymore. I mean, it was really bad. But the app, the project was really, really good. And so I, for one, was the one that really advised the CEO that, look, if you guys could square this away, you guys already had the first round. Imagine if you would have shut this down. Investors, I wasn't in there yet, right? I was supposed to come in on the second round. The investor would lose. And not only that, you would lose your credibility because at the end of the day, you're not gonna raise another round ever again because what make what would make investor trust you that you would not do this again, right? To make the whole story short, it got even nastier to the point then I had advised the CEO that to save the entire project because the project was good, investors were coming in, um, they were in the right sector, but it just quarrels between the two. And so I finally had to advise then, you know what? One of you guys got to buy out the other, right? Now, let's just say the CEO, his name is John. That's not his name, by the way. Okay, John. So I was advising John. So, of course, I said, John, you should find investors of the investors to take over your other partner and just buy him out. Similar to Bill Gates, they parted. That's Apple, Steve Jobs. No problem. Okay, there's just no problem. But one of you got to step out, right? And so John, the CEO, took my advice and went back to talk to his co-founder. And keep in mind, at this time, attorneys for both sides were already involved. Okay, so I'm not the only one, right, of advising. To make the whole story short, Randy, you've heard of the phrase, maybe Kuan Ning might understand because I think it might come from like the Asian ethnicity because I think it might come from my mom or something or some of my friends. It has to do with relationship. Like a guy would say, if I cannot have her, no one can have her. Have you guys heard of something like that? Right.
Ooh,
So
Yeah,
that's
for
funny.
this,
Asia. Yeah,
yeah, okay, there you go,
A lot,
Kwani.
a
coming
lot
from
of
Okay.
Asia.
suits. Mhm.
Right. So this was that thing. So the other side would say, no, it's either we're gonna do this together, okay, or no one get to have it. And so when that message came back to me, I said like, OMG. So to close shut this story, let Randy and Kwani take a guess. What happened at the end? What do you think happened at the end? Did they work it out, or the
So
company went belly up?
you
I think
use
I kind of gave a clue already, but anyway, go
you
ahead,
give
Randy.
big. Well, I might be connecting dots that aren't there, but you
Right.
used Steve Jobs and you used Bill Gates. Now, eventually, even after Jobs was forced out, they brought him back. The prodigal son had returned, and then they needed him because the government was saying to Bill Gates, like, "Hey, you're a monopoly," and they're like, "No, we're not. We're legitimately propping up our competition," and that's why because they invested a whole bunch of money into them, and that's how they got past the monopoly thing. Either that or the government just gave up, with trying to prosecute them. But did that similarly happen where one of them went to the competition, but then they started working together and cross-pollinated clients? I could be way off here. That's just how I see it.
Oh no, you're not off, because what you share is true life experiences. So no doubt about that. But unfortunately, in real life, the results are many different. It's kind of like recently, I went to touch some grass. So I was watching the sunset, and then somehow it came to me, and I wrote something on my Instagram that it says you can never see um two sunsets of the exact same kind, right? Oh, there you go, Randy.
It's
Okay.
so deep.
So there will never be, you will never ever see two sunsets of the exact same kind. So here in term, yeah, I'm an Aries, Randy. So I'm a little bit sappy. That's another side of me. That's a little bit kind of a secret. But so back to the real world, when it comes to relationship breaking up, or business breaking up per se, of that particular two guys from Princeton, um it may not happen the same way as Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, and or other companies, but unfortunately, let me give Quanting a shot before I give the conclusion of what happened to the Princeton guys. Go ahead, Quanting.
Wait, so your choices are like, so either I have it or nobody can have it, or I wish you all the best, you can have it, right? These two options.
Yeah, but based on the two Princeton guys, or whatever
Oh,
options that you want. There could be a lot of different options though. But don't think too hard. Sometimes keep it simple would be good, but
I think
yeah.
I think it's I think if you suggested something, I believe the story will go that way. So I think the company took the path that you suggested.
Well, remember, I did say that I was John, the CEO's personal advisor. He and I became very good friend. Super good looking guy. I had to say that if he's listening. Super tall. Actually, he's on my Instagram. You got to scroll all the way down, but super, super smart guy. But and remember, to answer you, Kwan Ning, I wasn't the only advisor, because both sizes, both of the guys, they had their own lawyers. Remember, they had a raise before, meaning that the company had money, and that at that time, there were investors defending both sides. There were investors defending the other guy, and then there were investors defending the CEO. But here's the ending result. I did give you guys both a clue that one of the guys kind of moved to a different state and talk a lot about religion. So I put two and two together, that I thought he was a priest. I don't know. But I do know for a fact that the last time I spoke to him was about 2 years ago. He's no longer in startup. So obviously that startup that they fought about, it belly up. It got shut down. Regardless, the project, the idea was great. Regardless, there were investors that was getting hurt. Regardless, both sides had great advice and legal to support them. But at the end of the day, you know, um that's the one thing. I'm not sure how we started out with this. You know what? It's all your fault, Randy. It's all your fault. I have no
Yeah.
idea how but that's the fact. That's the truth, the fact. I mean, as a VC, as a backer, I write checks, especially when I write checks to back a project with multiple founders, okay? That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear is, could they work together? Could they resolve everything? I understand about quarrels, right? I understand about arguments. I understand because when you back a great project, everyone should be super smart, correct? Everyone should be an alpha A, male or female. So when you get a bunch of great brain cells together, right? There are going to be quarrels, but at the end of the day, can those quarrels be fixed before it has gotten out too big, right? Now with the Princeton guys, by the time I heard about it, it was a little bit kind of late in the ball game. And with such mentality, like, like, if I can't have you, no one else can. We're not going to get anywhere with that, so um again, I have no idea how we got into this topic, but it's
It's
a great one because it's reality and it's real world, and so I hope that helps.
yeah. I
Oh,
think it started on memes.
yes, I do remember. It's about our WhatsApp private
Oh
group, and I must say that Quan Ning is correct. Um, and here's where I'm gonna back Quan Ning's response about the WhatsApp group. Um, I'm gonna use relationship as an example too. Boyfriends, girlfriends, right? Husbands and wives. That's why we have divorces, right? I've known friends who date who's been friends for like 6 or 7 years. They dated, right? They gave it a shot 2 or 3 years, and it just doesn't work. The same way we publicly seen with Angelina Jolie and and Brad Pitt, right?
you
That
mean
everybody
Brangelina?
Brangelina, that's correct. Now, if you remember that story, they literally dated and they were not married and had a bunch of kids, beautiful kids, and they chose not to be married until their kids asked them to get married. So they did.
Hmm.
Right as soon as when they got married, I believe that's when the bomb dropped and they got a divorce within that first giving year. So if they would have keep on going without getting married, could that have been good? Probably. So my point with all these things is taking back also to another lesson I've learned on Wall Street, right? About dealing with people and dealing with money and then dealing with people and their money. Okay. Number one, dealing with people is the most difficult things ever, okay, is dealing with another human being. Now, dealing with money, that's not easy either. I mean, you might want to buy Solana like a week ago, it was like 139. And then bam, 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 the Trump shooting thing, crypto's going up and Bitcoin's going up. And now Solana's 170. Could you have no. So your mind's got to be like so concentrated that you got to keep up with these things to be like really sharp on everything, right? And then the third thing, so dealing with people is not easy. Dealing with money is definitely not easy. But when you combine the 1 and the 2 together, this is Wall Street, which is the number 3. The number 3. Well, I don't want to use just the other finger. The
Not
number
according to Terrence
3.
Howard.
Right. So you're dealing with people and money and both of them combined. Hell would break loose. Right. So, so back to the WhatsApp group. So, like Kuan Ning said, it's like Silicon Valley. We do it based upon a referral basis. You know, like Randy knows me, and then Kuan Ning comes along, and then Kuan Ning knows Randy's. Hey, Randy, I know you know Jenny so well. I'm starting this this startup. I really love for her advice or back me, but I can't connect to her. Can you help me? And then Randy said, all right, Kuan Ning, I'm gonna do you a favor. This is how it works in Silicon Valley. Yeah, so I'm gonna connect you with Jenny, but you're gonna owe me one, right? But let me further continue. So I'm not gonna use Kuan Ning because she's a good person. Okay, so I'm not gonna use it on this. So sometimes, even when Randy connects someone to me, and I trust Randy because I know him, I love him, he's a great guy in business. Just because I trust him and I take in this guy named Jack per se, right? Because Randy introduced me, that doesn't mean that Jack is all that. So that's what Kuan Ning meant when there will be folks that would be introduced into our private WhatsApp group, and we will monitor them for a week or 2 weeks. And if we sense that their vibes is all about the vibes, right? Their vibes doesn't connect with the community, then we got to let it go. Because at the end of the day, we're building a strong community with people having a similar vibes that's either working well together, being honest with each other, being truthful, or there's no community at all, So I will end it there. My responses are always long. I have so many stories to tell, but thank you, Randy.
That is fine. I feel like I don't know if anyone knows the kids on TikTok. They call their parents whenever they tell a story that they didn't know. It's like, oh, this is good dad lore, or this is good mom lore. You're dropping a lot of lore there of a previous life that we might not be exposed to yet. And yeah, every week we get a little snippet, and people like fill in the map that was Jenny Qta before Tetherball.
But then here's the thing, though. I love babies, but I don't want to be anyone's mother, if that makes
Preach.
sense. So
Same.
I love babies, though. I would, I mean, if Kuan Ning one day, if she's gonna get married and have kids, and if I'm nearby, I would babysit her kids. I mean, totally. I love kids.
I
You
already
know,
asked her to be my future kid's godmother.
like,
Oh, that's so cute.
I already asked her like back then, and she said, "Yeah, of course."
and you know why? And that's I
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, of course, who have a lot of kids, but I've said no so many times of people asking me, my friends asking me. But for Kuan Ning, it's the exception. Because you know why, Randy? She's way in Germany, so I'm okay with that. Now, if she moved to LA or something, I might say, ooh, okay, but she's way in Germany, so I'm safe. But thank you, Randy.
That the first time I got the only time I became a godfather. I was like, so wind the clocks back like 15 years. I was very young. I and my friend we were all like under it. It was a teen pregnancy situation, and he couldn't get. They lived in the city. He couldn't. The subway was like down, like rats ate the wires, or there was a storm, whatever. He was stuck in the subway. It was pitch black, and he couldn't get to the hospital. And I had to bring my happy brown booty over to the hospital and like try to be with her, with our friend Vicky, and I had to go in the room, and I'm like 17 years old, and I am not prepared for what I'm about to see. It was, and then he had the nerve to make me godfather afterwards. Like, I don't want to see this. Is a traumatic experience. It was it was fun. Anyway, going back, for people that did not understand the Terrence Howard kind of dig that I just did there, you said like 1+1=2 or 2+2=4. Terrence Howard he wrote like a paper. It's like a 30-page paper about how 1 multiplied by 1 equals 2. It was absolutely ridiculous, but it was a really fun read. It's like the movie Velocipaster, where it is a horrendous movie, but it's so much fun. It's about a pastor that turns into a velociraptor. That is Terrence Howard's paper. Anyway, going back to what you said before about having 2 CEOs, I've never found that to be good. Almost always within X amount of months, if not a year, they always hate each other. They always there's always big fights happening. If one's a CEO and they're in charge of where the company's going, and then the other one's a COO, like they have on Vivi, they're in charge of how the company gets there. That's fine. That's perfect. But 2 CEOs, I feel like, is always a recipe for disaster. Would you concur on that, or do you have any specific examples where that actually worked?
Actually, Kwani, you want to take a shot at this first, or you want me to do
You can
that?
go first.
Okay. Randy, based upon experiences, I've seen a lot. Not only in real life, also startups that I've mentored. I stopped counting now because I don't know how many startups I've mentored, not to mention invested in. Some projects I said, damn it, I wish I did not write that check. But at the end of the day, the Lord still let me make money on my right hand by trading and my other investments. And then as I use my right hand to invest in projects, which I call it my left hand, that's when my left hand would help me pay capital gains taxes by offsetting the losses with the gain. Does that make sense?
We've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that's the reason why I do like to invest in projects, because at the end of the day, I'm in such a high tax bracket that I have to pay taxes anyway. So I rather make bets on startup founders. If it works out well, I'll pay more taxes. But if it doesn't, at least it helps, offset some of my capital gains. But back to what you're saying, we look at the guys like the Google boys. I always, Surin, Brin, and what's the 2 names? The 2 Google guys, right?
Yeah.
The 2 Google founders, right? Um, they were somewhat, I mean, titles wise. At one time, I believe they ran, together like CEO, because that's when you start out. But I don't think titles really matter. Like, Randy, you mentioned CEO, COO, or I've seen projects like CEO president. That too works too. Um, or Mark Zuckerberg, CEO, and Sheryl Sandberg, she was a COO. At the end of the day, I don't think titles really matter, but I think even if you have CEO and CEO, which there are a lot of companies out there that do have that, and they're fine. You know, I just think that a company, when it comes down to multiple leaders, okay, just like the Tetherball, for example, all 3 ladies are strong, super smart, okay, super smart. I mean, I would not be here if they have not each proven themselves to be who they are, right? But there will be fights and there will be arguments, and the most important, he was the CEO, and it doesn't matter, but I think the most important is the line of communication. It goes back to the same thing as a relationship: a boyfriend, a girlfriend, husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a girlfriend, who knows, right? um you will fight, and you will, um wow, and you have quarrel, and then so it's up to the communication that you resolve it to keep moving forward. And each time that you, quote unquote, fight, quarrel, it should strengthen the team. That's what I believe, because You put it all out there. You're no longer hiding. I mean, if you're pissed off, you're pissed off. You know, and because if you're pissed off and you're hiding, that doesn't do anybody any good, because people are not going to read your mind, you know. So at the end of the day, it's about communication. If the communication between the partners, you know, are gone, just like husband and wives or boyfriend and girlfriend, that's when you go your way, I'll go my way. The same thing with a corporation, just as I've shared about the Princeton guys. Okay, so, and one thing also wanted to add too is I've also mentor projects that the girlfriends or the boyfriends who are not a part of the project. Let's just say, let's use Quanting and I. Let's just say Quanting and I are in a project together and we're partners. We might, we never know. She has a boyfriend, I have a boyfriend, right? And so instead, it's no longer a partnership among Quanting and I, which should only be two on paper. But then her boyfriend, it's even worse if she marries the guy, right? Or I marry someone and now we're sleeping in the same bed. And so she might share with him, I might share with mine, and then he might share whatever, oh, tell Kwan this, or Kwan say, oh, go tell Jenny that. Then it's no longer a partnership of two, but it's now a four-way partnership. And that will break any businesses, any projects that much faster. Because why? Her boyfriend or her husband, nor my boyfriend or my husband know anything, nor should they know anything about this project unless they put in their money and be an investor. That is, if they get approved to be an investor. Just because you want to be an investor, that doesn't mean you're in. You got to be approved, right? So again, back to Wall Street 101 that I've learned, the most difficult things in life that we have to deal with is other people. The second most difficult is money. The third most difficult is a combination of number one and number two, life.
Preach. It's really hard to get over that pillow talk, though. Every now and then, things just slip out, unbeknownst to. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's magic. So there is I guess back to the weirdo stuff. The reason I brought this up in general was because as before a Randy Chavez stream, I listen to good music. I have a little daddy soda, and get in the mood. And there was on YouTube a song. People will know the song called "Mary on a Cross." It's by Ghost, and there's a TikTok version. And the TikTok version went. I don't know if anyone knows Star Wars. Sleep and know Star Wars. Where there's a commercial that Natalie Portman's in. She plays Padme Amidala, who's Anakin Skywalker's love interest before he becomes Darth Vader. And the commercial, the music's going, and she says, "You, what would you do for love?" And then like the music, the
Oh,
beat
I
drops.
love that.
Yeah,
That's a
and then
commercial of this perfume.
so they took the part of the commercial and they
Yeah.
spliced that with a fan-made video of Darth Vader going to Padme Amidala's gravesite, takes his helmet off, and then it's like, "You go down just like," and the music hits, and it's so freaking amazing. It's so beautiful. And if this video were to be made by like a kid or whoever, on their computer, their parents would be like, why are you spending your time doing that? This is stupid, because they didn't understand. But nowadays, because of meme culture and the internet and everything can go everywhere, I think like 5 billion people are on the internet now. You have weirdos in every part of the world that can identify with that and be like, "Oh, that is so cool. I love that as well." What have you seen that you've been surprised at the tetherball community, at the people that work for you? What person did you be like, yeah, this person, they have this role to fill, but then they surprised you, and then they did something that was extraordinary that you didn't expect?
Quanning's gonna take this one. You gotta take this one.
You
I'm
can
not.
see
I,
me,
Wait,
I
Connie.
go.
It's all good.
You gotta go. Go ahead, Kwani.
wait, within like Terrible team or like in general?
Could be in general. It doesn't have to be a meme.
Yes, Zen Allegra. She's absolutely correct. Totally true. Well said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I think that was like in Estonia, basically, there's a crypto event. I was there and I flew in last minute because I was giving a keynote. It's Banana Conference. That was Banana Conference. And then when I landed, that was like a pre-conference party. Most of the crypto event, they always have like pre-conference party. So I was there and I was texting my panelists to say, hey, do you want to meet up? Right? I never met them in person. I never met them. And then like they're like all Americans. And then I'm like, I live in Europe and I'm from Asia. So I just met them and I sat down and then one of the guy, I talked to him and then he is doing like, I don't know, fashion and then like living in Los Angeles basically. And then we just somehow talk about what kind of book we are reading at the moment, right? So this guy, he's reading the same book as I am, two books. So I was reading two books at the same time. He was also reading two books at the same time, exactly the same books. What's the odd? You know? So then we talk a lot about crypto philosophy and then like startups and then like how you take risks in life. And yeah, somehow it just clicked. And then also I suspect this person because then we met again in where like Brussels NFT Fest, right? I was there sharing a lot about Tetherball and stuff. And then I suspect he did a really big check on Tetherball thing, but I cannot inspect that because we never openly talked about that. But I think he's kind of like surprising my life that because your connection with this person and in the end probably you establish business relationship that you probably don't know, but it's a good surprise. It's a good surprise. But yeah, that is just how life could be, right? So yeah, Jenny.
So, Jenny, same question. I'll just rephrase a little bit. Who surprised you in the role that they were, whether going above and beyond or not even doing that? Just like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't expect this from you.
You talking with just Tetherball only, or
Oh, it could
Jenny
be
being
whatever. It does. No, it
godmother
doesn't have to
about
be
life?
tetherball. Like, what? Give us some Jenny lore. Give us something from back in the day or recent, whatever you think is best.
I have many stories. I was gonna share one story that recently happened, but I just remember that I shared that story with Rosanna, which I think her YouTube is coming out to 346,000 subscribers this coming Wednesday. So I better not share the same story. Um, but let me share from my team first. Okay. Now, first of all, each of the ladies, Cams, Kwaning, and Michelle, like I've mentioned, maybe it wasn't on yours. I think it was on who interviewed us first, Kwaning? Michelle's friend,
Dr.
Dr.
Evans.
Evans. Yeah, Dr. Evans. I think I've shared on Dr. Evans that they they are the one who intimidate me, right? Super smart, you know, Cams especially. She's a mom, wonderful husband. And she's so on hands with everything. Most of the beautiful graphics that you've seen coming out from the team came from Cams, right? Um, Cams would always be that person who jumped in and said, do this, do that. Cams was actually the one that who came up with Tetherball coin, Tetherball name. And it's so great, by the way. I mean, the branding for Tetherball and giving what we've done so now, looking back, that's just a genius. I would not have thought about that. And the ladies know about me is I will always give credit where credit is due. If any one of them is doing it, I would never take their credit for it. I don't need it. Trust me, I don't. Okay. Um, and then, with Cam's continue on is she would dive right in. She would write the entire like business plan. She would do the canvas, the Figma, for the UI UX. She done everything. Okay. So that was like 3-4 months ago when we started out, and I was like, wow. I mean, I knew Cam's about a year, but I've never really had to work with her like that. And seeing that from a woman, you know and she's so like alpha A. She's super smart, very, her writing skill is like, you know, okay, so that's Camps. See, I mean, it's like I say to the point I can't say anymore. I mean, that's just Camps, okay? And then there's Michelle. Now, with Cher, Michelle is a Scorpio and I'm an Aries, right? So Michelle too is super, super badass. I mean, media, Sirius, XM, CoinDesk, TechCrunch. I mean, you don't need a whole list of media. That's all you need. You're fine. You know, she's well connected, super blunt, just like me. Okay, super blunt. Sometimes we're so blunt that that we have to say, "Oh, I'm not yelling," or "She's not yelling." We're just being straight out blunt. And Michelle is the type that, there are four of us, and so when we get together in a room and we share different ideas, Michelle would always be the first one to say, she likes this or she doesn't like that, or Quaning would say something or Cams would say something, and Michelle would be the one that would say, yeah, I like that idea. Or she'd say, no, I don't know about that. Let's talk about that. Let's get on a Zoom and talk about that. So that's Michelle. And Kuan Ning, of course, is the baby of the group. And she's all out there. She's like the cheerleader, but also super smart. Now, I'm going to be honest. When we first started out a couple months ago, Kuan Ning was the one who kind of got adapted in the it took her some time to get adapted. Now, keep in mind, to those kind of missed the story, is uh Cams, Michelle, and I, we knew each other already, for a while. Kuan Ning and I knew each other too, but Kuan Ning doesn't know Cams or Michelle. But Cams and Michelle, they knew each other already, right? So I thought it was such a genius of Kuan Ning. And again, she's the baby of the group. I'm not that much older than her, but anyway, I'm just kidding. But she observed. Now, hindsight, that's how I see it. At the time when we're in a group of four chit chatting like crazy on text, calling, zooming, and everything, Cams did her thing, Michelle did her thing. Of course, I was doing my thing, and everybody's like, "Okay, Kuan Ning, let's go." She didn't say anything, you know. But now it's been a few months later, I can clearly see it, and that she was observing. She I mean, you can't be involved to the maximum of your abilities if you don't know who the players are. She can know me. Yeah, but I'm just one of four players, right? She needs to understand she's the fourth player. So each of us hold 25% of the entire pie, right? There are silent partners, but again, I'm just mentioning four for the sake of things, right? So how can she be relevant if she only knows me and based upon me to make her decision? She can't. So that first few weeks, I remember it was a while, so maybe it was a few weeks. She was super quiet. So no one knew what she was thinking and everything. I didn't know, and I knew her, right? So this is scoops that only on the Randy Chavez show, you guys. This conversation is gonna go down in history. Okay. So, and then guess what happened?
What
when
happened?
she got, yes, when she got that observation that she needed enough, she just like took off. Like it's like a hair, like the turquoise and the hair. So all of us were the hair, and then here's Kuan Ning, like here's the turquoise, and all of a sudden we didn't notice turquoise has one of those like zoom jet in the back of the of the turtles, like what do you call it, shell thing, and it go, it's just like, where did that come from, right? So my point is, you guys hear from me, and I back this project because each of them brought some genuine traits to the table. Of course, I do too, and and you know what? I can say this. If this project with these ladies does not work, and I'm not saying anything, no projects will work based upon the three minds. And I would never back another project with similarities because, again, betting on the jockey or betting on multiple jockeys are a risky bet. Okay, as I mentioned, people, money, and then people and their money. Okay, but these three ladies, you know, they have their uniqueness, and so let's end there. So in the real world, I'll share another brief project is that like the tetherball community, who surprises me, right? I met many. There's one story that I've shared with Rosanna, which is gonna come out on YouTube, that has to do with my cover on L. Okay, not it's not cover. Kuan Ning is on the cover of Love Officiel. I would just feature in L magazine. So that's on YouTube. So I can't share that because it sounds redundant. Um, oh no, I'm not power. The ladies intimidate me. I'm not power. I'm just here writing the checks, and I hope my checks doesn't. I don't know. But that's why I gotta go back out, and I got trained, so I could back more projects. But anyway, but I met so many fascinating people, Randy, and actually, to be honest, you're one of them. You know, yeah, you're one of them because I remember when Kuan Ning first introduced us into someone who knew you, and then Kuan Ning knows of him too, and he introduced. I'm not sure if he wants us to share his name, so I'm gonna keep his name out. And then he introduced us to you. And I remember we were still at the time when we require everybody to have an NDA. If you
Yep.
don't sign an NDA, we're not talking to you. And looking back, we have no regrets because of that. Everything was kind of still quiet, no leaks whatsoever. And that's good. So, we spoke to you. We weren't sure, if you're just another YouTube live streaming guy, whatever. But after a few live streams with you, and people see it right here, it's not as if like I'm hiding or anything. You guys see it like boom, right there in live, that you're a really genuine guy. You ask questions that are um not sexist. You ask the right questions. You don't ask stupid questions. You don't ask. Yeah, I mean, it's like, one of the things I'm afraid when I agree to be interviewed by someone is, sometimes I decline a lot too, because the vibes might not be there, and then they would ended up asking you questions that is like, what, like, hello, but your heart is there. Clearly we see that, Randy. Your heart, your soul, you are involved with not only with us, I've watched your other interviews too. Um and you, yeah, I do. And you've done some, you're just Randy, and that's the Randy that I believe the ladies and I respect and we adore. And we hope to continue having our live streams with you as long as Tetherball is up only. Up only. Up only, just like Bitcoin. Up only. All right, I'll just end it there.
Okay, thank you. This is uh I don't really tell anyone I do this, so I guess some Randy Alpha, Randy lore. Every time somebody says something like that about me, I always clip it and save it. I typically don't post it anywhere. I don't make like a short out of it. I probably should.
You
Um,
should.
Me and my boy sleeping related,
Oh.
I think mostly in spirit, but he's I mean, we're both minorities, are both really not of the from here. I'm first generation Peruvian, but yeah, so thank you.
Oh,
That means a lot. The questions it's not that I try to make, okay, is this question phrased as sexist or not? It's just I feel like none of those questions would really give any worthwhile investor and anything good to, like, any investor worth their salt would not care about that question. They just care if you guys are competent and you're good at what you do, which you are, and like just general info. So like that's and even the questions that don't necessarily have to do with like Tetherball, like the ones I would say like who surprised you the most, that just gives other people an insight of who you are, and of course getting some lore as well. But you said it ended there. So speaking of just Tether in general, so a few months ago you had, I think, Stripe. They enabled USDC payments, and they just had an announcement a couple days ago where they enabled now Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana. Now, Tetherball is obviously on Solana. It's one of the main meme coins on there. What do you think this does for Tetherball as it's going to launch at some point this quarter? And then you have suddenly major Web2 companies that are suddenly getting into Web3, and they go and enable uh, the blockchain that you're on.
I mean, like Tetherball is really neutral stand, right? If there is a pro news out there, which it's good for Tether, then we meme that, right? And it's the thought, like it's a bad news, then of course Tetherball is an educational kind of meme coin thing. Of course, we are gonna fund it, right? Depends on the news if that's legit or not. That is just my kind of how I see this. So no matter what kind of news is out there, as long as it's legit, we are going to educate people with funny memes. That's kind of it. So yeah, of course, like more, how should I say, the more people can access Tetherball meme coin, we are happy. We're happy to onboard more community. Yeah.
Oh,
Jenny?
also, I wanted to make sure everyone knows what happened to Cams and Michelle today. Cams just came back from MIT, and she is totally sick. And not only that, we all know Cams. She has two babies. One is only 7 months old, I believe. The other one, I believe, is 2 to 3. So they're sick too. So that's why Cams is a superpower woman, because she does all that and with the babies. Now, I must be honest again. I'm gonna be honest. I'm always gonna be honest, right? Ever since this project started, all three of them have been sick. All three of them. Okay, I haven't. Praise the Lord, please don't let me sick. Okay. Um, I think it was first Michelle. She started out, she was really sick when we barely started out. I think that's when she came back from consensus. I think because you guys kept traveling and that's where you guys get sick. Okay.
It's
And
true.
it's true, right? And then Michelle got better. And then Cam's, this is her first time being sick because she came back from MIT. And then Kwan was sick in between because she was traveling somewhere, and then she came back and she said she was feeling sick. But back to the question, Randy, like I've always shared, those who follow me for years and years on Twitter, I used to be very outspoken with everyone. on Twitter. Very. Okay. So it's either you love me or you hate me. But, and I block a lot of people. And it was funny. It was funny. One of the person that I block, I know people out there is watching this show and I know they do. Okay. Um, he literally had to resign last night. Okay. I'm not going to mention his name. He resigned last night because he said something that to me, I have always thought that he always said really like stupid things. I mean, heck, I say stupid things. Okay. I say stupid things. Okay. I admit. Okay. For you to admit that, of course, right? I say stupid things on Twitter. Okay. Like, especially 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when I'm still awake, 2 a.m. in the morning. I'd rather retweet stuff that I read instead of like tweeting at people, because by the time you wake up, you're gonna say, "Oh shit, what did I do?" It's like drunken tweet or something, like drunken tweet, right? So
I think I
I
know who this
learned.
is.
Yes, okay, he's a pretty powerful guy.
I do know
He
who this
resigned.
is.
Okay, so he said some. What I just share. You guys could just search on Twitter. You'll find it. Okay, he's a CEO and founder of some really a pretty big, powerful brand.
Oh,
But
I
he
don't know who this
resigned.
is. Never mind. Disregard.
Okay. Crypto. It's in crypto. Okay. And
Yeah.
I know Michelle. Actually, Michelle's not here, but I forgot. I need to congratulate her because we talk about it like a day prior when he was ranting about Trump. I mean, I'm talking about not like, I mean, he's pro Trump, but the things that people say about politics, oh my God. Okay. I mean, it's like, oh my God, I say things about politics, but I don't go to the extent like, oh my God, did Jenny just say that? No. I mean, so this dude, he said some like, oh my God stuff, like not just like one, right? So then Michelle and Cams and I were talking. I think Kuan Ning was flying to Spain because she has a wedding. She had to attend there. Obviously, she tweeted out about that. And
Not
so
my wedding.
Michelle, not her wedding.
Okay.
Praise the Lord for that, right? Um, so Michelle was the one that said, "Oh, the board is gonna, ask him to resign." You know, and I was the one saying, "No, that's impossible. The guy is such an an egotistical, bro, kind of like, and he founded the company, right? So he's not gonna step down, you know." See, I'm wrong. See, they know I'm the type that if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. So I'm even saying I'm wrong in real life. Okay, so congratulations to Michelle on that. She called it. She called that like boom, right? And I read it yesterday that he did resign. He resigned, and he had since deleted the tweet. And you know what? In the crypto space, especially the Bitcoin maxis, and I'm going to say that,
Yep.
there are more of them that I had already blocked because I don't want their tweets to taint my timeline. I block, and
Yeah.
hopefully more of them will resign, which would be better for the crypto community. So
So
I
the
don't know where we
person.
took off, but I was just sharing that. So if I didn't answer your question, please excuse me. Today's Saturday. We're just gonna be ranting about everybody. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. So the person I thought you were talking about was Senator Menendez, who had
No.
had to resign. I think it might have been 2 days ago now, but
Mhm.
because he had in like 2017, 2019, X amount of years ago, he said that Bitcoin is the preferred use of payment for criminals and like sex traffickers or whatever. And he literally got convicted of taking bribes in like gold and in silver and in other stuff. So like he's the criminal. He's the one that had gone on and said, "Oh, this is for criminals," and he's the one that gets convicted. So that's what I thought you were talking about, but clearly it wasn't.
Yeah, no, this
On
guy's not a politician.
okay,
He's just a crypto CEO, just like us. But he runs a pretty big brand within the crypto, especially for the Bitcoiners. So um Oh, hi, Wanda. Yeah, for the Bitcoiners, and those guys, I would say, you know what? God probably made them from the same mold. Okay, the guy trust me, I block them all. I mean, anyone who's out there following me on Twitter and you listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. I block them all, and I can safely say most of them are Bitcoin maxis. So I don't know what happened. I came into crypto in 2015, so maybe a lot of them came in beforehand. It's the mentality way before that gotten them to wherever it is today. I have no idea. Like, for example, the Gemini, the Winklevoss twins, which is a Gemini exchange. I mean, they recently backed Trump. I mean, I have no problem with you being pro Trump and I'm not pro Trump, or I'm anti Trump and you're pro. That's fine. It's like religion. You could be Buddhist, you could be Catholic, you could be Muslim. It's a free world, right? My best friend is a Muslim, right? It's a free world, okay? But but when you come out and just being like uh degen, is that is that what you call it?
Yeah,
Talk
DJ.
like a degen. I mean, that's just like stupidity, dumb, so but
Yeah.
anyway, I'm glad the three ladies, they of course they are degens, but respectable, super smart types of, especially when they speak in public. They know how to control themselves, let's just say. If there's anyone that can, it would be me. But hopefully I would delete it before anybody noticed. But I try to control myself now, but I think I'm pretty good.
So there's I think there's a difference for people that when you say like you could be pro somebody's policies and maybe not necessarily pro that person. It's kind of similar to the saying like support the soldier, not the war. People that are against war, but they obviously support the troops. Um, how do you feel about? Well, we're not going to get really too into politics here, but Trump had announced that if he were elected, that he'll have a Bitcoin strategic reserve policy. So you have one politician saying like, "Hey, we're going to go all the way this way on crypto," and then you obviously have people like Senator Menendez who's saying like, Bitcoin is used for like the criminals. How do you get the people that are so on one side of the spectrum saying that Bitcoin is a scam and all crypto is a scam, to not only get them to believe that crypto can be used as a source for good, but also get them to be like, hey, yeah, you're right, most crypto is trash, but here's why we're not. How do you get them on that side? And I have to run to the bathroom real quick, but I will be listening. Go and answer as you wish.
Go Guaning. Go Guaning. Go
But that is
Guaning.
like American politics. I'm like so out for this.
You're so
But like
out?
if
Okay.
I'm so like okay, let me
Take a
tell you
shot.
this. So yeah,
Yeah.
if we put it in the business context, I would say you need to piece off the 80% of the people to get the 20% of the niche, or vice versa, right? So I think you support what you love, and like you said, it's a free world, right? So if there is no opposite of the opinion, then this is not a successful case. That is just it's a fact, right? So that is what I see. What do you think?
Mm. Well, I think, um, yeah, well, when it comes to politics and people, that's another thing too. It's a topic that, I mean, well, except Elon Musk, and a lot of people think that he's a genius. I'm not saying that Elon Musk is not a genius, but I think most CEOs, from Bill Gates, the Google twins, I mean, some of the huge Fortune 500 companies, Mark Zuckerberg used to stay away from politics, but I think he recently switched that up just 2 nights ago when he did an interview. I think Mark Zuckerberg did an interview where he was saying that um, he rarely mentioned which side he support or anything like that. But for the first time, he mentioned because Donald Trump was shot, and not only he survived, but he stood back and put a fist up, fight, fight. To Mark Zuckerberg, he thinks that's badass. So we presume that we presume that that he's gonna vote for Trump again. Assumption. Zuckerberg did not say that, but he thinks, what Donald Trump did was badass. Now, speaking of cams, and then I forgot to mention what happened to Michelle. I think Michelle, it's Saturday, and Michelle takes care of her parents, her elderly parents. And I think there's something there. So Michelle has 2 dogs, and she takes care of her parents. So I think her parents are fine. No speculations, people. It's something about if she gonna go on air, she wants her dad to keep an eye on her mom, or her mom keep an eye on her dad, or something like that. And one of them, it's not there, so that's why she couldn't go on air. So that's what happened to Michelle and Cam's today. But let me go back to Trump and this Bitcoin thing, okay? Because I know there are listeners out there, people who are pro Jenny Ta. I know I got some. And then there are people who are con Jenny Ta. I'm cool with that too. Because at the end of the day, we can't get the world to love us, because that's not the equation of success. The equation of success is actually the more people who hate on you, that means you're climbing higher. Because by the time that you reach the top, you look around, there shouldn't be anybody left, because they keep on dropping. They either lie to you, they whatever secret you share with them, they tell the world, and so you drop them off and say, I don't want you no more in my life. And by the time, that's why most rich people, like billion, even Elon, read about it, he gets very lonely, right?
Yeah.
He gets lonely, so that's why he's with a bunch of women, thinking, he make babies. So he thinks that the population needs all his eggs and sperms, and because we need it, and this entire planet, it's gonna be made of Elon Musk babies and a bunch of other women's, right? But anyway, back to Trump. Okay, there's a history though, if we look at it. And I've tweeted, but I stopped tweeting because I got tired of tweeting it, because it's the same. There have been so many politicians who are not doing well and latching onto Bitcoin so that they can be relevant
Good point.
in the crypto world. Because if they were strong enough, okay, for example, Joe Biden, by the way, he's not dropping out. Do we know if he's going to win up? Probably not. Do we think Trump could be? Okay. But at the end of the day, there is a pattern, a history pattern that I've tweeted out, that only the weak are latching on to Bitcoin because they needed the votes. Now, let me give an example. And the entire crypto space should know this, because I was right in it. And that is Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler, before he became the chairman of the SEC, he was at MIT lecturing how pro he was about Ethereum, about Bitcoin, about crypto. To the day that he was nominated, okay, as the chairman of the SEC, he wasn't confirmed yet. Okay, he wasn't even confirmed yet. The entire crypto space, go on Twitter, search it. It's on there. I've seen it because I follow 65,000 people. I see a lot of things, okay? Most people say they would be thankful if they have 65,000 people following them. No, I follow 65,000 people because I want to see what people are talking about. So the entire crypto space, it's like, oh my God, we got one of our man inside. Gary Gensler, let's vote for him. Let's give him our full support. He was MIT. Ethereum is not a security. He's pro Bitcoin. Let's swear. So then we all know the story. He got sworn in, and then bam, bam, bam. He's probably the harshest Fed chairman ever since the birth of Bitcoin against the crypto space. Okay, now, but then here's the thing. Okay, but here's the thing though. So we will never learn Okay, the crypto space, we will never. It's not that we don't learn. It's that it's just like here's another thing. We do see a lot of bad actors in crypto, which people I've pointed them out. I point them out. I don't do that anymore because I'm tired. I'm to the point. I'm just tired. Okay. But there's a lot of people on crypto, okay, that they know they're bad actors, but because they own Bitcoin, and they want their Bitcoin to go up, again, up only. So they got to kiss asses. They got to blindfold themselves as if they don't know anything, or they even pro as in, oh, no, you're wrong. FUD, everything's FUD. I mean, the facts are there. Okay. But the thing that I don't, okay, I'm going crazy right now. Right. But the thing about it, okay. But the thing about it is that they would literally point out to top tier media like Bloomberg, Forbes, Fortune, or whatever, that those articles are FUDs. No, well, here's one. We're memeing Tether stablecoin. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So we're FUDs. But at the end of the day, when hi Michelle. Hope your parents okay. So at the end of the day, when their own people that have media getting hits on these same tiers, Bloomberg, it's good. It's a good thing. So there's so much redundancy. So here's my conclusion about Trump, okay, is that I think he got JD Vance as a VP. JD Vance is an Elon Musk guy. Now, you notice that Elon Musk tweeted out that he would fund the Trump administration $45 million a month until November, only after Trump confirmed that JD Vance was his VP. So pretty much, if you look at JD Vance's record, JD Vance used to call Trump, I'm not going to say the word. I mean, it's like horrible names. But now JD Vance is kissing up to the very person that, it's you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to pause there. At the end of the day, here's the data. And Trump knows this. If Trump doesn't know, his people should know. There are just 7% of the global 8 billion people who use crypto. Okay, just less than 7%. So with that 7%, it's global, worldwide people. And there are 60 million users here in America? So if we take that less than 7% of 6, it could be, will that take Trump over the line to be president? It could be, okay. Will Trump renege once when he's president, like how Gary Gensler did to us afterward? Of course he could, because Gary Gensler does not have a rap sheet that Trump has, and he still renege on the crypto space. Okay, imagine Trump's rap sheet. Okay, should I make it bigger? Okay. You would trust a man like that, because I'm pro crypto. I'm very pro crypto. But that doesn't mean I have to draw the line to kiss ass to someone that would make America bad. And Trump is horrible when it comes to America. And so if I have to say this, look, I'm in crypto. I back a crypto project. I back the ladies. But I'm not going to be pro anything, because at the end of the day, I am fucking proud to be an American. And I'll be damn sure for someone like Trump to take over and kill what America is supposed to be. America. I should be a politician. But anyway, thank you. Welcome, Michelle.
Michelle,
take over. I'm done.
It's like, what did I walk into?
Anyway.
That would have gotten a thunderous applause at like a Democratic National Convention that would have gotten any of the anti-Trumpers or any of the people that are on the left. So you probably, if you wanted to, you probably could run for some local office, and whether it's treasurer, whether it's whatever it is, and you'd probably win. Got the money, you got the woman, you got the minority, you got you have the speech, that was off the cuff, like that wasn't prepared. Like I didn't send you that question beforehand. And the
Right.
parallel you drew
Exactly.
from Gary Gensler saying, hey, he was pro crypto, a lot of pro crypto people liked him before he got in. Now, granted, I think he was anti crypto just to get kind of like a seat on the next cabinet with Elizabeth Warren doing other stuff. But again, that parallel was superb. Outside of that, we are here welcoming Michelle. And Michelle, it's been miss a little bit, but we have quite a bit to go. So I guess this next question might be for you, if you decide that it's something that you would like to answer, or you could give it to someone else. Now, obviously, we are on Tetherball, the meme coin, like I think the only meme coin for Tether. Now, they did chat Chainalysis former chief economist to help communicate with regulators and stakeholders. This would be good for Tether in general. It's going to be Philip Gradwell as the head of economics. He previously spent 6 years as chief economist at Chainalysis. If this goes well, again, and it'll be good for Tether, and maybe they can get, maybe not like a CBDC or something, but maybe they can get other bigger institutions in order to use that. How soon after that do you think people find Tetherball? Like once they go in and say, okay, Tether's in the news a lot, how quickly do they go in and they Google Tether and they find Tetherball? Do you guys do sponsored ads? Do you guys go and just have things like this? What's the plan of attack to capitalize on that news?
Well, I think we have quite a few plans as we grow. That was something we always talked about. Like, we don't want just people to find Tetherball because they're looking up Tether, right? We want them to find Tether because they're looking up Tetherball. Like they're part of like the reverse idea. Like it works hand in hand. But I mean, we are starting with of course, our Twitter community, and we are growing to other things, but also too through our education and through our live streaming and our plans to do, even part of our list of what we have planned for the rest of the month of July. Like we're trying our outreach, inviting other big heads of different communities, whether it's a CEO of another company, to come on and chat and talk about education, or talk about crypto, or talk about stable coins, talk about Tether, talk about Solana. Like we're on the Solana network. Let's discuss that too as well. Like why that's important, why to get involved in crypto, why even Trump, as Jenny was just saying, is now talking about crypto, and why it's so important to so many people concerning the US dollar. Why are people involved in Bitcoin, right? The conversation just isn't about, just stable coins in general or Tether, right? We do want to attach it. We are a meme coin, meming Tether. There's a reason for that. And let's talk about that conversation as well. And I think platforms such as yours and others that we have been on, and Jenny has another live show that's coming up here shortly too. And each one of us are so involved in so many different facets of the crypto industry that I think that a lot is going to be grown from that. It's almost like adding water. Every little step that we take may seem slow moving at first, but it is a lot of connections in this community. It's a tight knit community too. Like I could be talking about something that's happening with Masari the other day. Hello, Wanda, with Masari the other day, and the CEO, and how he's tweeting, and what his abstract, far kind of sometimes abhorrent text can be, and how it affects, Masari, how it affects maybe the company at whole, and then you break down, people want to talk about different things, and then you break down, why are you in the crypto industry? And then what about Tetherball? And Tetherball is fun. Like our community is awesome. Our community, we have some ambassadors that are just having a ball, especially with some of the right? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, let's go.
The competitions that we're doing right now. So they're just rock stars, and I am never ever amazed on what they can create. And then it becomes fun for me too as well. Like I know Kuan Yin, and she was she was tweeting and posting memes from a wedding. I was like, oh, you go, girl. I caught you. Yes, I caught you. I was like, isn't she supposed to be at a wedding? Like, what is she doing? She's over here. That tells you about the wedding. I mean, the wedding probably was wonderful and beautiful and awesome, but she's over here memeing, right? So, I mean, you can see we all right. He's laughing. We're highly invested in this, and I foresee it really spinning where Tether is going to be like reaching out to us saying, hey, what are you guys doing? We want a piece of that pie. We want to, since you're memeing us all the time, we want a piece of that pie. And even Solana, what we're doing for Solana too, and bringing some notoriety to like understanding why Solana, right? We're a big proponent. We love Solana. So why Solana? And a lot of people don't understand why. So we break that down for them too.
So speaking of piece of the pie, there's a pie chart that I saw recently about the breakdown of Bitcoin. Now, take away the 5.5% that's in Satoshi's wallet, take away the 6.5% that's still yet to be mined, you're at about 12% there. So figure out of the other 88%, 57% belong to random individuals, random wallets. Some of those wallets might be combined with each other, but almost 20% is in like lost Bitcoin. There's like 17% that's just in. They happen to be wallets. They happen to be thrown away. People forgot the password, whatever. You have a small percent in the miners. You have a small percent of corporations. The Bitcoin ETFs were only passed this year, and they already have 4%.
You're right. Right.
It's ridiculous.
I know. I was like the same thing. I was like, oh wow. Yeah. Good. Sorry.
So, no, you're good. You're good. When we have the breakdown of Tetherball here, I think only like 15% is really is with the founders, and then the rest is going to be to individuals, whatever. So, what are going to be the pros and cons of the breakdown with only 15% of the founders? Like, obviously, you're going to have some whales in there. They might get a couple percent each, but for something like this, like usually for projects, especially meme coins, usually like one founder might have like 15 or 20%. The other founder, like usually, is pretty top heavy, but for this, it isn't. Give us some pros and cons for that.
They're not thinking the long run. I know that Quanning has something to say, and so does Jenny to this, but they're not thinking long term either. Like, we're in this for the long term, not just to like pump and dump, not just to like have something really exciting and then we're going to make all our money and then we're going to bail, right? We're in it, and we're trying to show everyone that we're in it, like our wallets, the blockchain. So by doing it that way, it's more of a long-term growth for us as founders, and it's to really develop a product, watch it grow, and watch it continue in the community to grow, right? And for other people to also grow and get involved and make money and get invested in meme coins. That's the purpose of it. I think and also, I guess you can talk about the percentage rates. I mean, maybe Jenny could, or Quanning, you want to jump in here? Did you raise your hand? I didn't catch it.
Jenny raised.
Jenny did.
Hand. Yeah. About yeah.
Well, I was trying to do multitasking there, but it was funny because I was doing a research piece about meme coins with another friend of mine who's also a huge VC. And because I'm backing this meme coin, a lot of my traditional friends are now looking at it, right? I guess I'm kind of an influencer, not just on Twitter and social media, but in real life. So they asked me, some of my traditional VC friends and those who don't know me, of course, I came from Wall Street. So I have a lot of friends from Wall Street. They still run broker dealers and stuff like that. And so, of course, our news about Tetherball, it's only been 3 weeks, but it seems like it's been 3 years, right? With what we've done so much. But it's only been 3 weeks, people. Okay. They've heard it on Twitter, Instagram, Google. Okay. But we're not done with the research yet. But this is going to be interesting when we're going to be done with this research. And of course, we're going to publish it on Tetherball Substack, hopefully soon. It's that if you look at all of the meme coins, right? Dogecoin is the OG, right? The problem with Dogecoin, that is a flaw. And again, I was in the Doge community, and I hope they don't hate me for being honest. is that it would be impossible for it to go to, well, nothing is impossible. Let's just say it that way. But based upon math and numbers, and we all know it boils down to numbers. Bitcoin is numbers, okay? Because of the flaw that Billy Marcus did when he launched Dogecoin as an unlimited supply, which is Dogecoin prints more tokens every single month, that is not going to go. If it's going to go anywhere, it's going to depreciate in value, not appreciate. Because if it goes to $1 multiplied by the total supply, that's like Dogecoin alone is like the entire GDP of the entire earth. That's just not possible. Okay, so that's Dogecoin. Then besides Dogecoin is every other meme coin. Now, everybody out there, you're into meme culture. Name me one meme coin token that is good. Good meaning that, okay, it's, it's in the top 10. They're not, right? I mean, they're hoping to be up there. There's just Doge, right? There's Whiff is coming, Bonk. We all talk about that. But, and I'm not going to share this yet, through this research with my friends, did it open my eyes about Tetherball and how wild Tetherball is and how great Tetherball is. Okay? But I'm not going to share that yet because the ladies can attest that I'm not a talker. I could talk. I could even yell. Okay? Trust me, I could yell. Because I gotta let it out. Because if I don't, I go to the beach, I yell at the beach, but sometimes when I'm not at the beach, I'm driving, I yell. But no, I capped. Usually caps are not yelling, but sometimes caps are yelling. But they're laughing because they know something. I'm not gonna get there, okay?
The poor beach. She's yelling at the beach. The poor beach.
I know, the poor beach. Exactly. But the thing about it is, I'm a doer. They know that. I'm a doer. I do first. I always execute first. And then I talk afterwards. I'm not the type that I say, oh, do that, do that, do that. And then I sit back and do nothing. No, it's more or less like if it's quiet, I would do everything and then I would blow up. Kind of like, but that's, that's just how, so anyway, my point is that when it comes to memes, okay, people devalue, the word is devalue the word meme coin because it came from Dogecoin, which was created as a meme. But at the end of the day, I don't want to share too much about this research because I have to respect my other friends who are doing it for their own research too. A meme, did you guys know? I'm going to share this. Did you know a meme coin is a cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is also a cryptocurrency and that it could be one of the same if you run it correctly? Did you know that? Just because they name themselves a meme coin, that doesn't mean it will be in the shithole with all of the other meme coins who came out flaw. There's a flaw to their tokenomics. And that's why they will forever stay down there with a bunch of zeros. And that is what's supposed to be meme culture? No. Tetherball is going to flip the script on meme culture and that a meme coin is not what other meme coins have portrayed meme coins to be. Because meme coins, at the end of the day, is a cryptocurrency, which is similar to Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency. Different tokenomics. That does not mean that Bitcoin is better or Ethereum is better or a meme coin tokenomics is worse. I hope that makes sense. What's
It
wrong with
does.
me today? I'm just like,
I mean, oh, it's
You're on
great. This
fire.
is this is fine form tonight. I mean, it really, like when you said like what's good, I'm glad you defined that a little bit, because even if something is quote bad or unsure, you could just have, typically for any investment, you want to look at fundamentals, because hype is temporary and fundamentals are forever. But for crypto, a lot of things are like pumpamentals. It's like, oh, what's going to make us pump? Now, obviously, that's a lot in the short term, and if we were looking for long term, short term, you don't care about, because any investor, especially after that, I think E-Trade did it, where they took a look at who were their best investors that were just retail investors, and they were accounts of people that had passed away. And the reason why they were the best investors is because they weren't able to try to get cute. They weren't trying to trade. I'm going to buy here, sell here, flip it into this. They just held. So long term is obviously, again, for any investor worth their salt, long term is something that you don't care what happens in the short term. You could hold it for X amount of years, and that's what you guys are doing. So that long term it's going to be good. But short term, you have a lot of degens. You have a lot of people that'll do, whatever. So hopefully we can catch their attention as well. I think one of the ways you guys are catching attention is that we went over, we did some giveaways last time. We did the 5 different meme coin giveaways for the particular memes that people set up. Now you have another contest that's coming out in a couple of days. That's going to be I think a $2,500 and $1,000 video contest. You have additional bonuses on top of that. Can you guys tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so like last time, I think that was pretty successful, because that was our first contest, right? And just back to your first point, talking about this pumping culture, right? If you back then look at NFT, like a lot of NFT projects back then were like pumping up, and then because they didn't have really like utility or like using the technology in kind of like beneficial way to our day-to-day life or whatever, the price just went down. Let's just be honest, right? Like NFT right now, the entire crypto culture, like memeing community is kind of lifting up the entire even NFT culture, basically. So yeah, video contest is one of the things we are doing to engage more community and then like onboard more people. Last time was pretty successful. The giveaway with you, right? There was almost 700 people like at the same
A
time
lot
who
of
were
people here
watching.
first.
That was crazy. And then yeah, this time we are going to do a little bit something different. Is video contest, and then if you go to our Twitter handle, and then you can see all the details, right? And we got a bigger pool right now to give away. So make sure you follow and make some videos about Tether. Remember tag Paulo as well. So in case Paulo is watching, I'm pretty sure at some point he is.
Yeah, we had I think like 8, like almost 2,000 views total after the replays and everything. So that was a pretty nice. That was a nice video. The giveaways tend to do that.
Yeah.
So
And remember last time, Randy, we only supposed to have 5 winners,
and you had
and then we upped that to 7.
Yeah.
So this time we have 5 categories also, for winners, and 1,000 bonus, and we may have surprises too. So yeah, and while memeing Tether stablecoin and Palo are fun, but let's go towards sports too. So we recently added Messi. We recently added Kwan number 1
Beckham.
Beckham, guys. She loves Beckham. She loves him. I would roll out the red carpet, if she marries a guy like Beckham, So
Only if.
yeah, so do sports memes too, even movies. We reposted one from last night. It's a 2-minute long, a
It's
super long
awesome.
movie,
I like that one.
but
It
it's
was fun.
so good.
fun, yeah.
So good. Yeah, he submitted that one on the last contest, but oh my god, we if we put out the 8th winner, he would have won. Okay. So we have to hold back because there's limits to everything. And so, but it's so good. So he resubmitted that, and I'm pretty sure he's going to win this time.
It's
But
pretty,
again,
pretty
we're
amazing.
very early.
Yeah, we're doing most creative, most entertaining, most educational, best GIF, and best movie. So
Yes.
it'll be fun.
Ooh,
Who the heck
okay,
knows?
so
Yeah, who the heck
here's-
knows? Go ahead. Good.
I just I didn't get like triggered, but I know that some people in the audience will get triggered that you pronounce it GIF and not GIF.
Right.
And there's how Jenny, how do you deal with these people on your team that use a pronunciation of GIF in the absolute incorrect way? You gotta run your ship austere and strict.
Well, okay. So I have a good answer for that, and you guys can see how I am in a team. Okay, I do caps, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I caps. Some caps are not yelling, some caps are. Okay, they just have to know which one's which. But I cannot criticize anyone when it comes to pronunciation. Why? Because I'm not perfect. Okay. I shared this, I mentor this to people all the time, the startups. I said, when you run a company, please kindly put your ego on the side, right? And before you criticize anyone, first bring out that big mirror that everybody should have in your home. Look at yourself first. Are you perfect? If you're perfect, then criticize people. But if you're not, then hold back that criticism. It's not your place. It's not your place. It's not your day. There's just too much hatred out there in the world. We already hating each other. You're pro-Trump. I'm pro-Biden. I don't give a fuck. I don't, that's already enough, So first and foremost, Michelle, she is perfection when it comes to writing. Much better than me. Pronunciation, much better than me. She can critique me with my writing. And then next to that would be Cam's. Okay. I think I'm a pretty badass writer. Okay. But these two ladies go before me. Okay. Now, Kwan-Ning, again, she's the baby. But keep in mind, of the four of us, she's the only one who speaks 3 languages, learning the 4th one. 4. Okay. So before anyone out there, and I think she shared this before, and if she did not make this clear, I'm going to make it clear for her because I'm just fired up today for some reason. Okay. So Kwan-Ning has a viral Instagram post on her Instagram that is over 1 million views. That post, I've read it. She has so much hatred because of her English accent. Now, mind you, people out there, before you criticize someone with an accent, like I would defend Melania Trump. Again, I'm not pro-Trump, but I would defend Melania Trump because I think she speaks like 6 languages. Okay. So she has an accent too. Okay. So until you speak 6 languages, you have 0 right to criticize her accent. And with Kwan-Ning, unless you speak 4 or more languages, okay, than her, you have 0, absolutely none whatsoever to criticize someone who speak English, which is one of her 4 languages that she speaks fluently. Okay. And me, okay, I'm trying to learn Chinese. It's been a few years. I still couldn't get Chinese. I want to learn Chinese, but I still couldn't get Chinese. Okay, I listen to music. I understand Chinese. But anyway.
To add to that, too, if you think about it, like crypto is like for the people, right? Around the world. It isn't just ours. Like my name in English is Michelle, but in Italian, it's Michele, and it's masculine for Michael, right?
Yeah.
So people don't know that. They look at my name and they usually misspell it. Do I still answer to whatever you call me, right? So like other people have different ways of pronouncing something or looking at something because of where their background is from and their journey. So I think maybe being more inclusive of other people and how they speak, especially with the crypto industry, like we all talk to each other and like, how are we saying that? What's the, because it's going to change too again, and it may change again, and how we evolve in the community. So, but yeah, you just don't know. And pronunciations have to do with wherever you're from. People speak differently in other countries.
So
Yeah, so a GIF or a GIF is more technical ways of saying it. So, GIF, but of course, technical bros, they will call it a GIF file. And then ladies who are cute, they will call it a GIF file. Because ladies, we just want GIFs.
We want gifts. That's what it is.
Exactly. What's a GIF? We just want
gifts. Like, I'm just going to say gift. Give me a gift, Brandy. Come on.
Give me a GIF.
Oh.
Exactly. So but it's true. The correct pronunciation is a GIF file.
I mean, there's different areas. So to bring back, make it something relatable. Aries and Cancer, Gemini and Scorpio. These are people that they tend to butt heads a little bit, right? In sports, it's Mets versus Yankees. In football, it is Giants versus Jets. You have these rivalries. You have the people that like pineapple on their pizza, and then you have the correct people that don't like pineapple on their pizza. It's the same thing with GIF and GIF, and whether it's the correct way or not, I feel that GIF is correct. I don't know what it is, but I just like these healthy rivalries. I like poking fun at these things. They're super exciting to me.
And see, you'd be surprised. I'm Italian, and I every once in a while love a piece of pineapple on my pizza. It's probably because I lived in Hawaii for a bit.
I bet you cut your spaghetti with a scissor too.
Oh God, no! I use a spoon and a fork. I'm still a real Italian. Let's get that straight. Grandparents always say you put your spoon and your fork. You turn your spaghetti in your spoon. That's how you're supposed to eat it. That's a traditional way.
I love you guys so much. This is so much fun.
Don't tell anybody. I guess everybody's going to know now. Oh my gosh, it's out. I will potentially sometimes put pineapple on my pizza.
You guys are great. This is so much fun. So, all right. We have like 20 minutes left. Let's get it back a little bit to crypto here. Usually for crypto in Q3, it tends to be one of the weakest seasonal periods for Bitcoin and crypto in general, whereas Q4, late Q3, Q4 tends to be the strongest, at least in the cycle where you happen to have the halving effects come into play. You have the supply distribution that has gone down just because of that halving. And then you have things like the FTX estate, which is going back into the people's hands. Now, unfortunately, FTX, even though they're giving back 90% of the customer funds, they're only giving back the customer funds at the prices what they were 2 years ago, which of course they were way down here. Now the prices are up there, which is wrong. Now, people held most of their stuff on FTX because it was like the second biggest crypto platform in the world. When Tetherball launches soon, where should we go in and where should we store it? Trust wallet? Should we leave it in a MetaMask? Should we do it in the cold storage? What do you guys recommend?
This is not financial advice. However, go ahead.
Okay.
I had the perfect voice for that, so I thought I'd throw that in there.
Thank you, Michelle. See how she always protects us. Thank you, Michelle. But let me take care of that real quick. This is one of the reasons why I am so pro of regulations getting into the crypto space. Because if FTX were to be a traditional brokerage firm, if Quan Ning bought 2 Bitcoins and held it with FTX, and now her Bitcoins have gone up, that's her properties. What are they going to do? Sell her Bitcoin when Bitcoin was just 20 and give her 20 grand at the time and pocket the difference? That's just fucking highway robbery. I'm sorry. Do you need to bleep that out? Because I'm just like,
oh no, you're good. You're good.
Okay, that's just fucking robbery. Okay, and it's the same thing as Mt. Gox. And don't get me to Mt. Gox. I mean, with Coinbase and Krakens, I can go on with Mt. Gox because I know stuff. Okay, so Tetherball.
Get an Oculus wallet.
Yes, Tetherball. we are not reinventing the wheel here, people. It's not, we're launching a token that it's like launching an app or something. No, it's a smart contract that is on Solana. And we're not reinventing the wheel and created our own wallet that you should be surprised. Oh, should we trust this? No, we're using Phantom, which is Solana's #1 wallet. So there is a very well-known phrase started from the Bitcoin era, which is not your keys, not your coins, or should I say, not your keys, not your fucking coins. Okay. So you keep it in your freaking Phantom. It's not that hard. Come on, people. Okay. That's why we're here to educate. And unless you guys want me to use caps, okay, you don't want me to do that.
Do it.
I'm just going to say it one time when we educate people. Maybe the ladies have more patience than I do, but that's another bad trait of an Aries. I don't have any patience. Okay. So those who like me personally, I know you're watching. Those I've dated in the past, okay, they know that's my weakness. And if anyone wants to irritate me, just do something and just make me wait. Like if Quanning is very on time. Even like we travel different, when she says 7, she's there earlier. I'm the one who's late. Okay. So if you want to piss off an Aries, okay, literally want to piss off an Aries, just make them wait. They won't wait. They're just gonna be pissed off. They will wait, but they're just gonna be pissed off.
You're
But
giving your
that's it.
secrets away. Now Kwanning and I know. We
Uh-oh.
could get you every once in a while. Just make her wait, Kwanning. You'd be like, wait, make her wait.
No, make her wait. Make her wait.
Make her wait.
Then she's gonna
She's gonna
type
come out
caps. Right, Michelle? She's gonna type like caps.
Everything's gonna be all in bold.
Right, there you go. But
I-
yeah, it's very simple, Randy. Everybody has a Phantom wallet. We're trying to help people to get on board with Phantom because we're on Solana. All the ladies and we love Solana. I do personally say it once. I do believe Solana could reach 1,000. Not financial advice here. So we're very bullish on Solana. But you're absolutely right, Randy. We may be heading into a crypto winter coming up, maybe after the election, heading towards the election. You're absolutely right there. So we just have to be cautious. But here at Tetherball, we have a plan. But that's a part of the research that we will share when we are ready.
I hope you never get invited to these big Mexican or Colombian parties, because even though the invitation will say 7 o'clock, nobody gets there until like
9:30.
I will literally show up an hour late and I will be the first one there. It is ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny. It's true though. It's so true.
Yeah.
I would be there first and I would leave within an hour, and I thought, oh, that party was so dead.
She was like,
and
they
then
made
I
me
would
wait.
Exactly. And then I wouldn't know and I would have been gone already. But that's all right.
So there's before we go, like you mentioned Mt. Gox. So Kraken just got an email like 2 days ago. The Mt. Gox creditors that the coins have arrived. They've successfully received creditor funds, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, from Mt. Gox trustee. They will work to distribute funds as quickly as possible. What do you know, Jenny? What alpha can you spill on this stream?
All right. So people know I'm very blunt, and I'm gonna be blunt. So the two main exchanges here is gonna be Coinbase and Kraken. They're gonna be the two that is gonna get the bulk of the Bitcoin. Mostly they're in Bitcoin. And what I've read so far are that users are saying that both Kraken and Coinbase, because they don't want people to dump Bitcoin. Okay. Because keep in mind, here's what happened with Mt. Gox. If those of you who are not aware, for example, let's just say Kwanning and Michelle were a part of that Mt. Gox. That Mt. Gox was what, 7, 8, 9 years ago? So they bought some Bitcoin way back then with Mt. Gox, and Mt. Gox went through this. You guys got to go read it. went through litigation, blah, 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 similar to FTX. And now people are releasing from Mt. Gox the Bitcoin back to Kuan Ning and the Bitcoin back to Michelle. So Kuan Ning and Michelle would be, oh, thank God I had it with Mt. Gox, because if I would have held that on my own, I may have already sold it, right? Sold it. It's not easy for you to keep a token like that. So now that Mt. Gox kept it for Michelle and Kuan Ning, what do you think they could do? Maybe Kuan Ning said, well, I'm going to keep it some more. Or maybe by the time she saw it in her wallet, he said, oh my God, I could go buy a house in Hawaii now, right? So sell it, live. Why keep waiting? And then you might die tomorrow and you don't get to live, right? So Michelle might do the same thing. My God, I'm going to buy a house for my parents. So both of them going to sell. Everybody's going to start dumping. So then that's where
waiting. Yeah,
exactly. Because all of a sudden they see this huge amount of money and Bitcoin is up, right? So here comes Coinbase and Kraken. What do? They're going to try to stop that. How are they going to stop that? They're going to start asking Kuan Ning and Michelle about AML and KYC. Michelle, where's your AML and KYC? And then Michelle say like, what the fuck? Right? And then say, okay, what paper? I'll sign it. Michelle, and Kuan Ning too. I don't care. I'll sign it. Give it to me. And then they're going to find ways to say, well, no, you can't. You're missing this. So they're just going to kick the can down the road because they don't want folks from Mt. Gox or FTX. Well, FTX, it looks like they're going to sell it and then they're going to give people the difference and keep the difference. Now, that's just highway robbery. Every time I hear that, I get pissed off. I get so pissed off. I mean, those people out there, hire yourself lawyers and sue the fuck out of them. Sue them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my answer. I'm sorry, Michelle, Kuan Ning, if you guys want to add to all that.
I think you kind of said it. Right, Kuan Ning? I mean, we really don't have anything to say to that. But I think she kind of.
And I'm not drinking anything. It's just cocoa juice from Costco. You know, they know I don't drink. Yeah, it's just cocoa water. Anyway.
Yeah, but for 14 years, people are going to have that. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got my money. I got my Bitcoin. I got my money. Let me just
14 years, Michelle?
It started 2010. Wow. Yeah, for 14 years. So when you said 7 or 8, I'm like, I think it's longer than that. They've waited a really long time for this payout. So naturally, you're right, Kraken. And
they're going to sell.
They're going to try to do whatever they can to finagle this to keep people from doing that, from dumping everything out. So yeah, I agree.
And that's why regulations need to come in. Because again, what Kraken and Coinbase are doing, of course, they're not going to admit it. It's wrong. It's just totally wrong.
Morally
and they're taking it against the little people. And I hate that. Give people their Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly. No, give the people what they owe.
What they're owed. Yeah, what they're
owed. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. That was a Dr. Kevorkian reference that I just did. So I don't know if that's going to get me some minus subscribers there. Go hit that unsubscribe button. Or maybe people subscribe. Maybe they're into that. I feel like whenever Jenny speaks, I feel like Lorelai talking to Luke in Gilmore Girls, where she says, "Go, Luke, rant, Luke," because his rants are legendary. I love those rants.
That's funny. That's true.
So today is the 7-year anniversary of the death of Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park. Reminds me of when people in general, whether they're fighters, whether they're starting up a stream, they tend to have their own theme songs. What is Tetherball's theme song going to be? Is it something that you guys will create? Is it something that you guys are going to go and like, hey, here's an existing song, and we think this really represents us?
Stop believing. That's the first thing that came to my head. But no, we probably have to create something. Sorry, Kuan Ning, I had to jump in there.
No, it's good. I like that. I think there's a kind of a new pop-up song. It's called Girls. You know that?
Girls, girls, girls. Wait, the Lady Gaga song?
No, the new one.
New one.
Yeah, from the Kid Laroi. You know?
Can you
I'm
play
not
it?
familiar.
Andy and I both tilted our heads at the exact same time.
So no, don't play it.
Don't play.
Yeah, I had to mute you
have
just because
rights to be able
that'll
to
get
play it.
it demonetized. Oh my god, I accidentally removed it from stream. Oh god, hang on. Okay, there we go. I'm going to unmute.
Yeah, you don't have to play it, but just show it to us.
Girl.
Girls. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's just girls.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
gotta
girls.
check that out.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to that one, Kwani. You didn't tell me
Yeah.
that.
Now
But
we all know.
Yeah, send it in the chat.
yeah, but we might gonna write one with the community, Randy. I mean, I've done a Bitcoin song, I've done a Dogecoin song, which I have not released it yet. They're both rapping songs, but they're pretty good. The Bitcoin song went viral. And I wrote that with the artist. Also the Dogecoin song, I need to release that. But we're gonna write a Tetherball coin song.
I have one line of a song written, and it's hard because there's not too much that rhymes with Kamala. So she's not here yet. So the line is, it's a tetherball party, it's a tetherball party. Chilling, drinking beer with my girl Kamala. We're chugging it down till it's drier than the Sahara. But that's the only, there's no other location that rhymes with Kamala. So
Oh my god.
It's Cams. Like,
Yeah,
there's
she
even
goes
less
by
that
Cam
rhymes with
too.
Cams.
Cams, Bams,
Wow.
I've looked at
Jammin'.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I have the Dogecoin song. The Bitcoin song is one guy, and the Dogecoin song is a guy and a girl. And so both of them are my friends, and they're both excellent singers. And so I produce both of the songs, and I hire them both to perform it. I have not released the Dogecoin song, but that one, it's pretty badass.
Okay. I have a song. I have a song I made as a parody to there's a Barbie movie. I'm sure you guys saw that. The I'm Just Ken song. So like the I'm just Ken, so I have a parody made for like I'm Randy. But I don't have like I need the people to like film. I have the whole song written. It's really good, but I have the I need a place to film it. There's got to be a bunch of different places. There's going to be me at the gym. There's going to be me on the floor looking like I'm homeless because crypto degens are like that. So once I finish the Tetherball song, it's going to be a while. I need to do research more. It's going to be about the team too.
Cool.
Gotta do that.
Can't wait.
We'll be your cheerleader somewhere if you tape nearby, but maybe we might have an in real life somewhere and we invite you out, and then you may kill two birds with one stone, Randy.
That could work. I can dig that.
Mm-hmm.
I could dig it. So we have a couple minutes left. Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that I did not bring up yet for this week before we get to, I think the next time we're together is the 30th?
Yes. The week of the 22nd, we gonna announce later in the listing and stuff like that. We had a different plan of going on today, and then we shifted that plan a little bit, but we will make announcement via our Twitter.
Okay. All right, cool.
Michelle, Guaning, Michelle,
Yeah,
anything else?
I just thought, I don't know if you had mentioned what was on the list. You talked about your
no.
Anything that was going on? No? Okay.
Nope.
No,
Yeah,
just
we'll
the
share
contest.
that. Yeah, just the contest. So we'll share via tweet later.
Yeah. And
it's
then
too late now. We have like 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay, Guaning. Oh, sorry, Randy.
Oh no, I was just saying before we started, is like, hey, we'll wait, until we're all here. I guess that'll be next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yep.
Yeah, just make sure check out the video contest. It's really, really intense, really competitive. If you think you're smart enough, hop on.
Sweet.
We welcome smart community and join our Twitter community as well, which you might have a direct line with us. I see a lot of Jenny fans already in the comments, so.
Really? I'm not seeing anything, so I'm good.
Thanks, Wanda. Thank you.
Oh.
So
all right, thank you, Wanda. Go ahead, Randy.
When we go to when you do release that Dogecoin song, so me and Matt Wallace are they're acquaintances, and me and Slum Doge Millionaire, we're friends, and he's like Mr. Pro the Doge. So when you go and release that, let me know. I'll shoot out a message to them, and I'll get some traction to it.
Sweet.
Well, let me respond to that. You guys know I'm pretty honest. I'm sorry, but Matt Wallace, I blocked him a long time ago. I'm telling you, I know these things. Okay, I blocked him a long time ago, and you guys all know why. The Dogecoin community out there, and Slum Doge Millionaire, he was on paper, but he never sold. So ever since then, he's changed. So if I'm going to launch a Dogecoin song to benefit the Dogecoin community, I would not ask those two to represent my song.
Okay, disregard. I will. I'll
Thank
keep that
you.
in the back pocket just in case. And
Thank you.
so give
I
me-
want you, Randy.
We
You
appreciate
can represent my
like,
song.
when you're-
Michelle,
you're-
Quanning, Cams, but not those two.
Okay,
Wrong people.
I'll keep them in the back pocket then. All right, this has been great. Let's talk a little bit off camera a little bit. I love you all. Class dismissed. Thank you all for joining. This is fun. Bye guys.
Thank you. Bye bye bye.